Greetings, everyone. So, today our topic is related to informal letters. So, we know that it is again a topic related to the creative writing. We have been discussing formal letters and now we are discussing informal letters. But before initiating our lesson, if you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel, subscribe it to get more updates related to the lessons which I'll be uploading. So you can get the update easily. So moving ahead with informal letters, we know that we write informal letters to our friends, family members, and to our relatives as well. So an informal letter is a type of the letter you would write to someone you know, for example, a friend or a family member, and they are written in a style that is more friendly and familiar in comparison to a formal letter, which follows strict rules and layout and style. So we are not supposed to use or follow a proper format for the informal letters, and we are allowed to use slang language, and we can avoid formal language. So informal letters are more flexible when it comes to following these rules and can take on many different forms. So informal letters are written for a whole range of reasons. You might write a letter to your friend to share news, saying thank you, wishing them a birthday, inviting them to an event. It can be congratulating them on something. It can be apologize. You can say the topic can be of apology. You can apologize in your letter, tell them about a holiday. So if you want to informing them about your vacation, about your upcoming holidays, so the topic is you can say the diverse, you can write on any topic. So it depends. Moving ahead with the features of an informal letter for us. So informal letters have different features in comparison to formal letters. They are not as rigid in the way they are structured or written. And this means when you write a letter to your friend, you can have some fun by breaking the usual letter writing rules. So the way you structure your letter will depend on the type you are writing, but there are a few common features that are noticed when writing informally. These are a friendly opening and a close, a date, an informal and chatty language, written in the first person, paragraphs, address of the sender and the recipient, depending on the type of the letter. So these are the things that you should include in your informal letter. It should be obviously when you're writing to your friends, so it will be of a friendly opening and a close with the proper salutation and a proper closing with the well wishing of something. And you can mention the date, and obviously informal and chatty language is a slang language which you can use in informal letters. So how to write an informal letter? Like any letter, there is a format to write an informal letter in English. Unlike a formal letter, an informal letter does not need to state something specific. It can be written in easy conversational style. There are in the nature of a friendly chat. So it can include a variety of topics. It can have all that you want to tell your dear one about. You can use colloquial expressions, unlike formal letters. So there are a few easy guidelines that you can follow to be able to write impressive informal letters. So address and date. So if you are thinking of how to start writing an informal letter, here is what you should know to get your informal letter format right. You have to begin it with the sender's address. The address is written on the left hand side of the paper. It is necessary that you write the complete address so that the receiver can write back to you. So see to that you give the correct address along with the pin code. In case you are writing to someone in a different country, make sure you include your country in the address. For example, you can see this address and it's followed by the date. Writing date is important as it would help the receiver know when exactly you had written the letter. So you can write the date in either in the following formats as you can see. Forms and greeting salutation and informal letters to friends and family. You can address them by their names prefixed by qualifying terms such as dear, my dear, it can be dearest, etc. So you can also address them by their pet names, dearest Rosie, or dear Andy, or anything, or by their relationship with you, your grandma, grandpa, cousin, or anyone. So if you're writing to an ordinary friend who is elder than you, you are of superior rank, it is respectful to use prefixes such as Mr., Mrs., or Miss, for example. You can see dear Mr. Reddy or something. So introduction and the body of the letter, the words you use determine the nature of your letter. You can start your informal letter with an introduction to set the tone of the matter that is going to be discussed. So you can begin by inquiring about the health and well-being of the recipient. For instance, I hope this letter of mine finds you in the pink of health. You can then explain the reason behind the letter and provide the details as elaborate as you wish to, unlike formal letters. So the letter can be more like a friendly chat than an essay. You can write in a very casual and personal tone if you are writing to an older person. Do not use disrespectful terms or sentences. Conclusion: end of the informal letter or a friendly note, use words in such a way that the recipient feels like they have had a wonderful time chatting with you. See to that you make sure let them know that you would be awaiting their response to your letter. So forms of subscription and signature, you can use the following in informal letters: to relatives and near friends, yours affectionately, yours lovingly, yours loving friend, with love, etc., followed by your name, mostly your first name. If you are writing to a close acquaintance whom you have addressed as dear Mr., Mrs., etc., you can use yours sincerely, kind regards, etc. So informal letter format samples, you can see that informal letter format: one, letter to your cousin inquiring about her first visit to Ethiopia. This is the this is the format of the letter writing. First, we have mentioned the address, as you can see. You can mention the address, then you can mention the date, and you can start your letter with dearest Maria. So now we are moving ahead with the first paragraph of our letter, that is introductory paragraph. I was so glad to hear from my mother that you are coming home, that you are back home after the trip. Hope you had a safe and enjoyable trip. I have been waiting to hear all about the trip from you. So this was the introductory paragraph. Now we are moving ahead with the second paragraph of the letter. Since this was the first time you have been to a foreign land, I guess every little bit of the trip was as exciting as you expected it to be. I have heard from my friends residing there that the place is extremely beautiful and that the people there are very endearing. However, I was worried when I knew that there were, you can say, heavy landsliding or any sort of thing, any natural disaster during your stay there. Hope all of you are safe. I hope everything else was fine except for this. So the last paragraph is: I had spoken to your mother earlier and she told me that you would be coming home after 2 weeks. I saw your picture on Instagram as well. I can't wait to meet you and hear all your stories. Waiting eagerly for your reply. Your loving cousin. You can mention your name. So that was all related to the informal letter. That is very easy. You can just, it seems that you are just negotiating or conversating with your friend. And I hope you have enjoyed this lesson. If you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel, subscribe it to get more updates related to the topics which I'll be uploading. And in my comment section you can leave your comment, the lesson which you want me to discuss with you. So I'll be uploading those lessons as well. Thank you.